1619 was sort of a, you could kind of look at Jamestown as kind of the big bang of the creation of the United States.
History, like time, flows from year to year. Over 12 months, across 365 days, during a single revolution of the Earth around the Sun, nothing remains as it was. Change is constant and inevitable. Each year brings something new to the human experience, whose significance may not be appreciated at the time. Even incremental shifts in the environment or institutions make an important difference. Sometimes the change is profound, like the signing of the Magna Carta, and then the year in which it occurs imprints itself strongly on public consciousness. Some years see important discoveries, battles, revolutions, and civil wars, natural and man-made disasters, victories, achievements, triumphs over the spirit of evil, and great social change. Sometimes it is less so, and the year becomes forgettable, slips into obscurity. 1619, it seems, was just such a year. It offered nothing in the present day immediately recognized as consequential. But the events of 1619 in Virginia would have a profound and long-lasting effect on the development of a new nation. The region of North America that would later be called Massachusetts was the ancestral homeland of the many tribes that made up the Wampanoag Nation. For thousands of years, the Wampanoag fished in these waters, hunted game in these woods, and cultivated corn, beans, and squash in this soil. No European has ever settled here. Next year, however, in the chilly early November of 1620, they'll arrive. A small ship, the Mayflower, will bring 102 passengers from England to a location they'll name Plymouth Harbor. Some of those passengers, slightly less than 40%, will become known as Pilgrims. They will found the Plymouth colony and wind up an iconic part of American history and myth. But that's in the future, next year. Right now, they are simply separatists from the Church of England, deeply committed to religious independence. These people are, if not persecuted, reviled and seen as dangerous to the order of English society, a society from which they seek to escape. A vast and tempestuous ocean stands between them and North America. At the same time, some 500 miles southwest of the area the Wampanoag call home, the broad James River flows serenely past the first permanent English settlement in North America, Jamestown, in the colony of Virginia. Founded in 1607, Jamestown is now 12 years old. Having narrowly escaped early extinction, its survival is still not assured. Mortality rates remain high, and political relations with local indigenous people, the Powhatan, are best described as tense. Despite these hardships, and partly because of them, formative events of historic significance, events that will resonate powerfully through time, are taking place here. Their impact will persist. Across 4 centuries, they will bedevil, influence, and help shape a country no one living then could imagine. The United States of America. It was 1619, a pivotal year in the evolution of America. (1619) North America. The continent is dotted with American Indian towns, villages, and cities, Far fewer in number and population are the outposts of France, the Netherlands, and Spain, three of Europe's major economic powers. Most were established with the hope that they'd last, giving the countries supporting them a toehold on a rich and, for them, largely unexplored continent. Another European power, England, is represented too. At a carefully and strategically selected site on a pear-shaped peninsula in the James River, Englishmen have founded a settlement they've named Jamestown in honor of their king. Envisioned primarily as a quasi-military settlement from which to conduct trade, Jamestown, like the others, is intended to endure. But its enduring is hardly a sure thing. It took years, perseverance, will, courage, and the assistance of nearby Indian people to turn this highly risky venture into the first permanent English settlement in North America. As that remarkable against-the-odds process unfolded, what could reasonably be called the initial chapter in the history of the United States was being written by people who, in a sense, were living between two worlds. They took part in and experienced what turned out to be extraordinary happenings. Barely noted then, barely remembered now. The impact of those happenings on the United States would be deep and lasting. With passing years, that impact would evolve and change. But for better or worse, what began in 1619 at Jamestown and in other parts of the colony of Virginia remains relevant today, an integral part of the fabric of contemporary American life, connecting this country's distant past with its complex present.